Do 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 do. I'm gonna ruin your entrance if that's what you're gonna go for. So, welcome to Cheap Pops, everyone. We have a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk about a show that we went to, but also we are going to do a retrospective on the year 2003 in the wrestling industry. Hence the Trish Stratus. Yes, that's a 2005 John Cena, but still whatever.
Yeah, it's still John Cena, people.
Right. So we're going to go through, we got TNA, we got WWE. Yes, Ring of Honor was around in 2003 too, but I have that much note. We're not going to go through everything. I have rosters and, look at all these actions. Even the Easter Bunny who was in the APA Invitational was on the table. Attention to detail. You know what I mean? The superhero in training, by God, is on the table.
Wait, does it say it on the shirt?
No.
Damn it!
I did not do that on the shirt. I would like to do that on the shirt, and I probably will at some point. If you don't get it, superhero in training. Spell it out. All right. But we went to a show in Meriden, Connecticut on the 16th of November. Wrestling with Character Live. They called it Wrestling with Kross because the main event was Killer Kross. We had a good time. The meet and greet went very smoothly. Let me get my stuff. I should have been prepared.
And a lot of it was like a well-oiled machine.
It was. But when we went before we even went into the building, there were these guys dressed like minions. They had like full face masks on and like goggles and
they called them the Pillars.
The Pillars, yeah, which is fine. They were part of the show. That's cool. But they were doing high fives to people outside of the building. And my buddy Steven, who went with us, did not want a high five, and the person was insisting. And it's fine if you want to interact with the crowd, but if somebody says no, take it as a no. Some people do not want to do physical contact like that, and you just got to let it go. And also, while we were waiting in line in the meet and greet, the same guy tried to do it again and was like flabbergasted that he didn't want to do a high five. No shade on the promotion whatsoever, but if they say no, just drop it.
Yes, no means no.
Yeah, that's harassment at some point. You know what I mean? Like, the guy, and I'm not saying it bothered him big time, but it bothered him. If you say no, I don't want to do that, just walk to the next person. I gave you a high five right afterwards.
Yep. So did I.
So, that's a little thing. I met the Mountie. He was incredibly nice. Got an 8x10 signed by him.
He threatened you with a taser?
Yeah. I'll post the pictures on our social media because they are...
You kind of do deserve to be tased, though.
Well, I do, but my thing is and this is a kind of a little thing, but for the person that I paid to get the picture with to tell me how we're going to do the picture, it didn't bother... It just, He was like, no, don't look at the camera. You do this. Put your face like this, and I'll like. Okay, well, that means you don't want to do what the person that paid you wants to do, and that is whatever. It's a small thing, whatever. And I got to meet somebody that I've wanted to meet for a long time, Mercedes Martinez. I don't know if she's still in AEW or Ring of Honor right now, but I got the AEW 8x10 signed. She was incredibly nice. I first saw her in Shimmer back in 2009 when the Shimmer DVDs came out from the World Wrestling Network.
And you told her that, and she said that she was still waiting for royals on that.
Yeah, well, she was kind of joking, saying that Dave Prazak hasn't sent her the DVDs yet, so that's kind of funny. And then the main eventers, Killer Kross and Scarlett. I got this signed by Killer Kross, and you might think, why didn't I get this signed by Scarlett?
Got something else
because
better.
I got something that probably she doesn't get a lot of. Wrong thing. Damn it. Well, we're going to show that anyways.
Yes.
A Night of Hoopla, the Ring of Honor DVD. This was unauthorized. It was, Truth Martini doing a night of wrestling. There's actually no commentary on this, which is, you can hear the wrestlers make comments and stuff, which is pretty funny. But Scarlett was one of the Hoopla hotties at this point. She did She was the ring announcer for Ring of Honor for a while, and now she's married to Killer Kross, and they're an awesome package together. So, I wanted to get this signed because it's I can display. I've got like a little plastic easel. I'm going to display this. I have they did another unauthorized one with Mike Bennett's bachelor party, and I had Maria Canella sign it because like her ass and legs are like front and center on the DVD sleeve. So I'm put this next to that on a display because I think that's cool. I think it's fun to do.
Yes,
something different.
Pure.
And they had great vendors. And Jake the Snake was there. Brian Myers was there. Dijak was there.
Jake the Snake Roberts brought Damien too.
Well, no, it was Revelations, the albino.
Yes.
But I don't think he brought it, but because it was in like a tote and there was a guy there with him. But it was the albino snake, and that was pretty cool.
And you had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. Snake. I don't coincide with snakes or spiders.
You and Steven are like, nope, me. I'm like,
no, I'm done. I'm good. But he was there with his ex-wife Cheryl Roberts, who used to be Reggie in WWE, was also there, and Richard Holiday and Wrecking Ball Legursky, who wrestles for NWA right now. I need to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Brian Anthony. He wrestled for a long time for Northeast Wrestling, many years, and he was always cool to me. He used my signs in his merchandise at one point. I was always part of the Anthony Army. It was cool to see him there. I'm hoping he's able to wrestle again. If not, he still had an amazing career. If you don't know who he is, search Brian Anthony, Northeast Wrestling. His feud with Matt Taven over a couple of years was just amazing. And I know you can stream a lot of their events. I have a lot of them. Most of the ones that I went to, I have them on DVD. So I don't know if they do the DVDs anymore. I think most of their stuff is just streaming now. But I wanted to give Brian Anthony a shout out because he's always been cool to me. And it was cool to see him there. Also, Ron Zombie.
yes.
Also, search Ron Zombie and Northeast Wrestling. He's awesome. I mean, he looks just like Rob Zombie. So that's kind of the gimmick. He comes out to Scum of the Earth as his entrance music. He was in the Battle Royal at the beginning of the show. So, it was cool. So shout out to Brian Anthony and Ron Zombie. What did you get? Well, I know one thing you got because I got it for you, but
It's Cancer Sean!
don't say cancer. That's just not bald Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, bald.
Bald Shawn Michaels at $10 for the basic figure. I said to him, "Do you really want it?" He said, "Yes, I want it." So I bought him.
Hey,
bald
wait a minute.
Shawn Michaels.
He matches us.
That's true, but I don't look as goofy and cross-eyed as Shawn Michaels does. I'm just saying. And that's true. He is cross-eyed, so don't even come at me for that. And you what else?
I have to thank you for this.
Yep. The NWO Wolfpack Lex Luger, awesome stuff. I have one of those as well.
And I grabbed this at Target. I had to snag this up.
That's a cool Batman. I like that. Yeah, sometimes we show off our stuff.
Yes, we do.
See, you got to get like a bag or something
Hey.
out of the box. Oh, that Lex Luger, yeah, that.
And this was on clearance for $17.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. That's sweet.
And yes, this one is going to be one of the ones coming out of the box. I already own it in the box. I want this one to come out of the box.
Hey, I don't blame you.
And I am so glad I got this. And this is staying in the box.
Ron Simmons, that's a cool one. I think I have that one somewhere.
And can I get a G.I. Bro?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I wish they would have put G.I. Bro
yes,
on there.
instead of Booker T.
But whatever. Maybe they don't own the rights to it. Maybe somebody trademarked it. But still,
Probably.
Mattel hitting it out of the park with these, random action figures. So speaking of the vendors that they had there, I bought this, the Raw magazine with Sable on it. There's not a pictorial of her in here. That is Jacqueline. And the poster of Jacqueline was in here, which I was surprised that. Usually when you buy these secondhand, they don't have posters in them. But for $5, I had to get it. I'm a Sable Mark. This one, this is a guilty pleasure.
Yes.
Come on. The Goon. Steve Irwin. The Goon, or is it Bill Irwin? One of those. I think it might be Bill. But the hockey
Just
player from the
come on,
90s with
yes.
his boots built up to be like hockey, skates. Like, yes, I'm sorry.
I love that Mattel has been doing like the obscure shit.
Yeah, like the gobbledygooker and stuff.
Yes!
But this one you saw, and I'm glad you did, the TNA Impact Wildcat Chris Harris, who I have met. This is staying in the box. This will never come out of the box.
No.
And if I can find a protector that will fit this, I am totally going to get it.
Dude, you know what would have been awesome if they actually had,
What, James Storm?
yes.
If they had James Storm too, I probably would have snagged that up because I spent a lot of money. I'm just saying.
Yes.
But it's what I love, and
yes, we love wrestling, people.
and this was for $20. The Shield, Justice for All 3-disc set, and then
This we have to watch together.
we will do a review of this. The Best of Backyard Wrestling #5 even has the Insane Clown Posse on here, so and not like XPW where they had the Insane Clown Posse, but it was just Shaggy, 2-Dope, and Vampiro.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck?
And after a while, they said, that Violent J wasn't there, but just,
the commentary on that
was horrible.
Yes.
Was horrible. So I don't recommend watching XPW.
No.
Unless you watch the one match with New Jack and Vic Grimes where he throws them off the dam.
I can't feel my legs. Well, you're going to need them.
This one, I love the Rob Van Dam wearing the Tiger Stripe outfit, or singlet, that he wore at the last ECW pay-per-view, Guilty as Charged. He also wore it, I believe, in the ladder match that he had with Jeff Hardy. And one event in TNA also. He
wore that at the King of the Ring 2002 facing Brock Lesnar.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going with my my kendo stick display.
I still say fuck you, Rob.
Yeah, I understand why. And then the NWO Great Muta. I already have one, but I wanted another one just because that's what I do.
I wish it could have been the Chase one, but still.
Yeah, and you saw this one. Greg the Hammer Valentine with his robe and the Hammer Jammer knee brace or leg brace. If you don't know about that feud with Ronnie Garvin and why the knee brace is a thing,
oh my god, it was such
check that out from '89 and '90. But I've met Greg Valentine, so that's going to go on my display of wrestlers I've met. This I did not get at the show, but it is another wrestler I've met from Impact Wrestling. The DNA of TNA. The Blueprint, Matt Morgan.
Oh, no shit, they got a Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, they had Rob Van Dam. Yeah, and like the Joker Sting and all that. But wrestling with character. It's more geared towards family-friendly.
Yes.
Which is fine. Family-friendly promotions, it draws people in. It was at a high school, perfectly okay. It was a little too family-friendly for me, but still had a good time. Not going to lie, I enjoyed the show. But there are a couple things.
Yes.
A couple things.
We're nitpicking a little bit.
A little bit. But, like I said, enjoyed the show. If you can go see Wrestling with Character live, go. They're having AJ Francis at their next show in December. I would say go. When they did the Battle Royal pre-show...
Oh my god, that was so good.
It was good. They had a girl named Tinsel who was in it. I was hoping she would win. But the heel manager, Professor U-Spite, won. So...
we're putting that in quotes. One, because the referee was in the ring.
Yeah, and the referee. They said at the beginning, whoever was in the ring when the bell rang was a participant, and the special referee ended up being the one who won the match. But my thing is, they had the house lights up through that match, and then when the show started, they turned those down, and then they had lights around the ring, and they were right in our eyes through the whole show. Granted, at one point they did turn them down a bit, but you couldn't really get good pictures. And my thing was, they did like lighting effects in between matches for the entrances and stuff. I believe you could have just lowered the lights at that point, done that stuff, and then brought them back up. I think it would have been better. All in all, it's a thing, We're just and if you think we're nitpicking, okay, but we love going to shows and we're gonna say what we think. And like I said, a good show. We had a good time. I enjoyed the meet and greet. Couldn't have went smoother. But
do you want to laugh though?
Okay.
Speaking of Tinsel,
yeah,
when she was walking around doing the meet and greet and stuff, I saw her. I thought it was a fucking kid at first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how old she was, but yeah. So, I mean, it was It was a good battle royal, entertaining battle royal. The first match was Sammy Diaz versus Flash Waller, and a really good high-flying match. Mr. Kurt, the host, said don't blink, and that was true. It was nonstop action through the whole match. Really, really good match. Flash Waller retained his title. I can't remember the name of the title. I'm sorry.
It was
Wasn't it like BTS or BTE or BST or
it was best.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He retained his title. So, and then there was Dijak against Sidney Akeem. If you don't know who Sidney Akeem was, he used to be Reggie in WWE. Really good match. The smaller guy against the bigger guy. I mean, Dijak's just a beast.
Yes.
He's in MLW. He had a title belt. I don't watch MLW. I probably should, but I don't know what title belt he had.
And I want to say this: fuck you, WWE, for not using him to his full potential.
No, and there was a lot of the crowd like chanting T-Bar at him and chanting Reggie at the other guy. Look, I know not everybody's on the internet.
Yeah.
But you know who these people are.
Yes.
It really isn't that hard to, if you know who Reggie was, you literally could have went on your phone during the match and said, oh, his name is Sidney Akeem, so you're not calling him Reggie and denigrating him through the whole match.
Yes.
Just saying. You know, I just... There's... You know was in WWE. You knew T-Bar. You knew the name Reggie. How can you not do enough to know what they are outside of that once they're gone?
And God damn it, he wasn't just T-Bar. Well, he was using Dijak.
Well, yeah, well, a lot of them don't watch NXT, which I don't understand. If you're watching WWE, why you're not watching NXT too?
Right.
You know, but that'd be like, I watch, you know, like, okay. Shockwave against Raytrom, who was like, it's Mortar. It was a great wrestler that we saw at Chaotic Wrestling.
And he is fantastic.
He is really good. He was they were calling him an orc for Middle Earth. He came out to the orc music, which was tremendous.
Yeah.
And he had like a thing for candy, which was funny. Shockwave had pyro, which was I thought that it was gonna light the curtains on fire on the stage. But he was the only one that got pyro, which I thought was funny. If you've never seen Shockwave the Robot live, and you're at an indie show, go see Shockwave the Robot. You didn't really get to see what he could do at this show because they did like a dance-off with kids in the ring and stuff, which it's family-friendly. They're going to do those things. That's fine. But he can really, his gimmick where he can do like working like a robot, he didn't really showcase it as much in this one. Still an entertaining match. Shockwave got the win. And then this match I really enjoyed. The Bully Boys, Heresy and Miles, with their manager, the Mountie, against Jermaine Swish Marbury and Wrecking Ball Legursky. Wrecking Ball wrestles for NWA, and Jermaine Marbury is a very good wrestler. He is very good.
I love the Swish's mascot's sign. What was it?
It was defense. It was a D. Defense, and Jermaine Marbury is dressed like a basketball player. Yes. He's got an afro. You know, it was a great thing. And then when the crowd was chanting defense, what was the Mountie chant?
Offense!
It was tremendous. It was tremendous. I hate to do this, another gripe. The Mountie had a headset on, and he was like commentating and doing stuff through the whole match. Fine. The Mountie's a great talker. Awesome. But every heel manager through the night was wearing a headset and talking through the matches. That may be something that they do all the time, but to me, it wasn't. That's just me.
Yes.
That's just me. Like I said, enjoyed the show. I would go like Kurt. Kurt's a great dude. And it was a very well-run show. The music, there was no problem with the audio.
No.
I could understand the names of everybody, and you can't always get that in any show. They did different kinds of music through the whole show. I mean, it was top-notch. The way it was run, completely top-notch.
Yes.
I got to admit. I mean, other than the lighting thing, but that's, you know, bless you. That's our gripe, and if that's the way they want to do the shows, and if people don't complain, you know, that's just our opinion. But basketball.
Oh my God, yes.
What did the Mountie do to the? He used the cattle prod and he shocked him, and they like did the electricity sound, and they like flashed the lights.
Then all of a sudden, poof.
Yeah, the inside the basketball, from inside the basketball came smoke, and I think the mascot thing. That's what I think. I'm just saying.
Right.
But I could be wrong. But it was very entertaining. The Bully Boys are and the Mountie as their manager was great.
And who came out to defend the mascot?
You go right ahead.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
And he looked great, and they had the minions brought out the albino snake, and it ran the Mountie off, which was great. And it was a great Jake. I didn't go to talk to him because I've met him a couple times already, so I've got 2 pictures with him. I'm not going to buy a third. I'm just sorry. Unless, you know, Deonna Purrazzo is one thing. She's my favorite wrestler. I'm always going to get a picture with her if I'm here. But it was a great tag match. Wrecking Ball ended up getting the win, so that was great. And I got to say, I think, well, no, Dijak won, so not every babyface won. So
only a couple of heels won.
Excuse me. Yeah, and then Mercedes Martinez against Queen Ariel, a good match. I don't think it showcased what Mercedes Martinez can really do, but it was great to finally see Mercedes wrestle live. So, and it's her birthday. I think it was her birthday the next day.
Yeah, birthday. So it was her birthday weekend.
And the crowd saying happy birthday too. It was really cool to meet her. I got a couple of good pictures of her. So, and I'll post those as well. I got to go through them because some of them aren't that great because, you know, they had like a smoke machine too. And sometimes when the lighting hits that, and my iPhone shit, I got to get a better, camera too.
Can we talk about what's on the hard cam? Because I want to bitch about this.
Go right ahead.
We are watching, what is it?
Well, we're not watching, but we have it on.
It is Full Gear. No, what's it, Full Gear?
No, it's Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts. And you got stupid Mercedes Monet coming out now.
Yeah. We've explained this before in other videos, so if you're tired of hearing it and you're a subscriber, I'm sorry, but we have a TV and we have an event, playing while it's just so we're not looking straight into the camera the whole time. And sometimes, like now, it gives him something to talk about since he's pretty much mute through these fucking shows.
Hey, shut up.
The match of the night, in my opinion, Killer Kross against Richard Holiday.
Yes.
Great heel. But his signature move is a low blow. And since it's a family-friendly show, his low blow was banned. And they played into it through the whole match. Scarlett looked amazing. And Kross was incredibly over. That crowd loved it. They were chanting, "We want Kross" a lot. And it was a great match. And he talked after the show. And he took our flyer for our show, which he didn't have to do.
No.
And so did Mercedes and a lot of other people. So I really appreciate that. And we're going to tag them in it. They actually told us to tag them in it. So that's what we're going to do. It was a great match. Killer Kross won. And Scarlett was funny. Bing! And Kross got on the mic after the show and everything. It was great. All in all, great show. Like I said, there was little things here and there, but that's going to be true for every show. I'm sorry. There's going to be things. You cannot have a perfect indie show, in my opinion. No. It's just not. There's always going to be something. And if you think we're complaining too much, this is what we feel about a show that we went to. You didn't experience it, so I'm not throwing shade on the promotion. It was a good show. It was well run, and we would go again.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not really caring about meeting AJ Francis, so I'm not going to go to that one. But I would say go if you're in the Northeast and you can make it to one of their shows. I would say definitely go. But do you want to get into the main thing that we're talking about today.
Can I get a
Well, we're not to that yet.
Oh.
We're not to that yet, because we're going to kind of go in order. But we're talking about the year 2003. 2003 was a crazy time in the wrestling business. You had WWE, you had TNA, you had Ring of Honor. There was a lot going on. I have the TNA roster for 2003, and this isn't even the whole roster. Listen to this roster. Don't count it, because there's a lot.
Nope.
Amazing Red, Abyss, AJ Styles, Alexis Lurie, who was Lurie.
I can't remember.
She became Mickey James.
Yes.
BG James, who was the Road Dogg. Brian Lee. America's Most Wanted, Chris Harris and James Storm. Triple X, who was Elix Skipper, Christopher Daniels, and Low Key. CM Punk was around TNA in 2003. Kurt Hennig was in TNA in 2003. D'Lo Brown.
And this is just before he passed away, too.
Right. David Flair. Don Callis. Steve Rhodes. Frankie Kazarian. Glenn Gilberti, who was the Disco Inferno. Jeff Jarrett. Jimmy Rave. Justin Credible. Kid Cash. Conan. Mike Sanders. The Road Warriors. New Jack. Paul London. Perry Saturn. Raven. Ron the Truth Killings. The Sandman. Shane Douglas. Shark Boy. Sonny Siaki. Steve Carino. Sting made an appearance in TNA in 2003. Vampiro. Jerry Lynn. Easy Money. Tenacious Z. Do you know who Tenacious Z was?
Try to remember.
He was Zach Gowen before he went to Tony Mamaluke, Vince Russo. And that's not even everybody that was in TNA in 2003. And you had Vince Russo doing Sports Entertainment Extreme, Sex. Mike Tenay did an interview with Percy Pringle, who was Paul Bearer. And that was just in the first month. And Kurt Hennig against David Flair, axe handle on a pole. And it's Vince Russo, because of course there's going to be on the pole matches.
Yes, of course.
But that list of talent, and that's just in TNA. That's not even talking WWE and Ring of Honor. No. And yes, some of these guys were in Honor as well in 2003. But it just... And then, before we get into the WWE pay-per-views and what happened to WWE, the WWE roster: Mark Jindrak, Garrison Cade, Gail Kim, Molly Holly, Trish Stratus, Lita, Robert Conway, Sylvain Grenier, Rene Dupree, La Resistance, Coach, which, whatever.
Yes.
Sable, the FBI, which was Nunzio, Chuck Palumbo, and Johnny the Bull Stamboli, Rhino, Spanky, Brian Kendrick, Val Venus, The Big Show, Brock Lesnar in his first full year in the company. Chris Jericho, the Dudleys, all three, Spike, Bubba, and Devon. Lance Storm, William Regal, Nathan Jones, Dawn Marie, Tori Wilson, the entirety of Evolution, Triple H, Batista, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton. Team Angle, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Christopher Nowinski, Rey Mysterio, Edge,
Rey Mysterio,
Edge, Chavo Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero, Tajiri, Bill DeMott, who was Hugh Morris in WCW, Tommy Dreamer, B Squared, Bull Buchanan, Rob Van Dam, Matt Hardy, Shannon Moore, Jeff Hardy, who only lasted a couple months into 2003, but still, 3-minute warning. Rosie
Did I hear somebody say 3 minutes?
3 minutes. Rico, Test, Stacy Keibler, John Cena, Rikishi, Kane, Booker T, A-Train, Maven, Goldust, Undertaker, Hurricane, Jacqueline, Victoria, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Did you say Goldberg?
Did I believe... No, maybe I didn't say Goldberg. Goldberg, Mick Foley was co-GM at one point. Royal Rumble. I'm not. In 2000. McMahon ran him through that. Was what would you like to know ended up being the paper? No, he didn't last. And Pretty bad. Yeah. And he got destroyed. And then Brother Love came out, who was Undertaker's first manager, and he got destroyed. And then Canyon.
Who better than Canyon?
Who was singing "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" by
Boy George,
yeah.
and he was dressed up like Boy George.
And Undertaker beat the fuck out of him with a steel chair. And I'm not going to say it was a punishment. That's for them to know. But it was a cool video leading up to it. Undertaker was changing his style at this point. He was doing a lot of MMA, he was doing triangle chokes, he was doing a lot more striking, and it made him look even more badass, in my opinion. He did a Dragon Sleeper in this match on the Big Show. It was pretty impressive. And then A-Train came out and tried to interfere. Undertaker did his dive over the top rope onto the floor, onto A-Train and Heyman. Kind of looked like Heyman caught more of it than A-Train, which kind of sucks, but Big Show did a choke slam on the Undertaker, went for the pin. Undertaker got him in the triangle choke and choked him out. Awesome ending.
Yes.
Really showed the way Undertaker's style was.
Then you had A-Chain come back into the ring and deliver the derailer,
Yep.
and say, "You're a little dog."
Yeah, I'm the big dog now. Yeah, that was really cool. So then the next match was supposed to be 3-on-3, Team Angle against Benoit, Brock Lesnar, and Edge. But no Edge, so it was a 3-on-2. Great match leading up to Mania. I mean, it was going to be Brock and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. So Benoit made Charlie Haas tap out. Didn't make Kurt Angle tap out, so keeps Kurt Angle strong. Awesome. The World Heavyweight title.
It wasn't this the match up re-breaking his neck.
It might have been. I can't remember. He's broken it so many fucking times. World Heavyweight title, the rematch, Triple H versus Scott Steiner. They pretty much did the same stuff they did in the first match. Triple H trying to get counted out, Triple H trying to get DQ'd, making it look like he was intimidated by Steiner. The Montreal crowd loved Triple H. They were booing Steiner like crazy. Triple H tried to get DQ'd. Triple H retained. I put this as a note. The set was above the Titantron was like a huge chain, and they had a lock with the No Way Out and the WWE logo. We've talked about it before. Bring back this pay-per-view specific sets.
Yes.
I know you're trying to pack everybody into the building now, but that doesn't mean you can make the screen look like, you can do it. I know you can do it. All the stuff that you can do now. And then Bischoff versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, with JR coming out for commentary.
And what a fucking pop!
Yeah, Austin had been gone since like June of the year before. So yeah, the crowd was going insane. And of course JR was like having a conniption fit cheering for Stone Cold, which was funny.
Stone Cold!
Austin hit a stunner, and then the referee went to count. He pulled up the arm, and then he gave him another stunner, pulled up the arm, and then gave him a third stunner. And got the win, and JR, Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. And then Austin left the ring and then went back in and gave another stunner. Awesome. Great way to bring Austin back. But then, the main event, Hulk Hogan versus Hollywood Rock 2. Well, he wasn't Hollywood Rock during the first one, but with Sylvain Grenier as the ref. Grenier had not been introduced as a wrestler at this point, so... great recap package, and what was the highlight of that package?
You called a rocket jabroni?
Exactly. It was just, and what you gonna do? Before Shawn Michaels did that stuff.
Yes.
But it was just that he did two people's elbows on Hulk Hogan, and I wrote, I can see where Roman Reigns got his ideas for the slow matches, because Hollywood Rock was having slow-ass matches at this point. They did the lights out, and then the referee was down on the mat, and the referee slid a chair to Rock, and The Rock won, and then Vince came out and, attacked Hogan and all that stuff. It was great.
And for the record, as Vince put it, Hogan screwed Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan screwed Hogan. WrestleMania 19, I didn't write notes. I just kind of put the card. Matt Hardy versus Rey Mysterio for the Cruiserweight
Which
title.
was a really good match.
Really good match. Matt Hardy retained. This match was a train wreck. It wasn't very good. Undertaker and Nathan Jones versus Big Show and A-Train.
And Nathan Jones got taken out of the match.
And then came back later on.
Yes.
It just... the streak was still alive,
Yep.
but it wasn't a good match.
If anything, they should have never had the Big Show. It should have never been a tag team match or a handicap match. It should have been Undertaker versus A-Train.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with that.
They were just trying to build up both
Yes.
A-Train and Nathan Jones at this point. Women's title, triple threat, Victoria, Trish, and Jazz. I don't remember who won. I think maybe Jazz.
Trish. Trish won it.
Trish won, okay. Triple threat for the WWE Tag Team titles. Team Angle versus Chris Benoit and Rhino versus Los Guerreros. The match that everyone talks about, Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho.
Yes.
All-time classic WrestleMania match. One of the greatest performances by Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. Was really, really good. They did a hug after the match after Shawn Michaels won.
Yeah. Bing, low blow.
Yeah, low blow by Jericho. Awesome. World title, Triple H versus Booker T. The wrong move. Booker T should have won. Booker T should have won the world title at this. Then a street fight with Hulk Hogan against Vince McMahon with the return of...
Roddy Piper.
Oh, you got him in there? That's cool. Yeah, with the return of Roddy Piper, and he hit Hogan with the lead pipe, which was fucking great.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan won, of course, because Hogan must pose.
Yes.
Stone Cold versus The Rock, which ended up being Stone Cold's last match until the Kevin Owens match a couple of years ago. Great match. This pay-per-view was really good, I'm not going to lie, but I didn't want to watch the whole thing.
I want to say that was the best Rock match ever. Besides with Hogan.
I would say Hogan. I'd say it would be 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could agree with that. And then The Rock won, of course. And then the WWE title, Kurt Angle against Brock Lesnar.
And what happened during this match with Brock?
Why don't you say?
Brock went for the shooting star press and almost killed himself.
Yeah, pretty much. Landed pretty much on his head and jacked his neck back and probably could have killed himself.
Yes.
But Brock Lesnar won the WWE title in that match. So, we got more. But I want to do a little something. Well, before that, this game came out in 2003, WWE Crush Hour, with monster trucks and The Undertaker having a bike.
I forgot to go through some of my stuff. I had some 03 games that came out.
That's all good. But I'm going to bring back something that I really like. We're doing Guess the Theme. So this is where I play a theme and he has to remember what one it is. He's not very good at it, but we're doing it. Just kidding. Let's see if you know this one.
Billy Kidman!
Yay! How about this one?
The Coach, baby!
Wow, you knew. All right, I like it. This has nothing to do with 2003, but I really like it anyways. Seth Rollins is a wanker. Just gonna say. How about this one?
Jan!
Okay. See, you're doing good on this one.
Molly Holly.
Fuck, man, I gotta pick better.
I want to say Crash?
No.
I know it. No, Shannon Moore.
No. Fuck. Jamie Noble.
Oh, it was close.
You were close. This
A-Train, baby!
That one was easy. Okay.
I did it!
Yes! Wow, dude, you're doing good. This one might be hard. Tommy Dreamer.
Bill DeMott.
Wow, I didn't think you'd get that one.
To Jerry, baby.
All right.
Christian.
Damn, dude, you're doing really good.
B Squared.
Nope, Dawn Marie.
Oh, Don. Nathan Jones.
Oh man, you're doing real good.
Didn't I say his name earlier?
I doubt it. I don't think you're gonna get this one.
I know it. I can't remember.
Chief Morley before they changed him to Val Venus.
Trish Stratus.
Nope.
No. Corey Wilson.
Yep. You're doing real good.
Can I be serious for a moment?
Oh, damn, dude, you're doing real good.
Lewinsky!
No, not Lewinsky.
No.
No Winsky, but yes, you were close. No? Sean O'Hare.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
See, I could...
You damn, dude, I'm going to say 95%. I got to get better next time. Oh, damn, you did real good.
I got to do this to you.
Yeah, oh, dude, you ain't going to win that one, I'll tell you that right now. Backlash 2003. Big Show versus Rey Mysterio Jr.
Ray Maschio.
What happened at the end of that match?
Dude, he swung him like a fucking little child, like a baseball bat. Yeah.
Okay, let me explain. Rey Mysterio was strapped to a backboard. Big Show grabbed him, swung it like a baseball bat against the ring post, dropped him on his face.
Yes, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, you got, if he did, you know, you can hear Rey Mysterio's head thunk off the floor. Yeah, and then the other match I liked, the six-man tag, Shawn Michaels, Booker T.
I forgot the reason why, because they had to write Rey Mysterio off TV for a while.
I don't remember.
I think it was because of a movie or something.
I don't know. But Shawn Michaels, Booker T, and Kevin Nash versus Chris Jericho, Ric Flair, and Triple H. Might as well have been a tornado tag.
Yes.
And Triple H won using the sledgehammer.
That damn sledgehammer!
And the main event, The Rock versus the debuting Goldberg. One of the best Rock promos where he called Goldberg a whisker biscuit bald-headed bitch. And said to Terry Reynolds, the only thing The Rock hasn't done is make a white baby. You know,
I loved it. Cacao!
Yeah.
Cacao!
It's like King Kong hitting Godzilla. Yeah. I wrote back when The Rock was actually entertaining.
Yes.
Goldberg hit 3 spears and a jackhammer and beat The Rock. So, I have to say I really enjoyed this pay-per-view, Judgment Day.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was co-GM at this point, comes out and toasts a beer with Taz and then goes up to a skybox that he calls Redneck Heaven. The opening match, John Cena and the FBI against Spanky, Rhino, and Chris Benoit. Really short match. I don't even think it went 5 minutes. The alter ego of the Hurricane is the intrepid reporter.
What's up with that?
With Mr. America, interviewing Mr. America, and it was just, it's classic, you know, just really classic. Then they did a ladder match for the tag titles, Eddie Guerrero and Tajiri against Team Angle.
And Tajiri and Eddie won.
Yep, because Chavo Guerrero was injured at this point. And they had Eric Bischoff go into the skybox with Stone Cold. And it was a running theme through the whole show with, like, pickles and, you know, hot dogs and...
More? Jesus!
Yeah, and all that stuff. And Bischoff ended up puking across the tits of the, you know, the waitress or whatever.
And right into the crowd.
Yeah, into the crowd. It was fine. And then they did an Intercontinental title battle royal because it had been unified with the world title in
2002.
October of 2002. So they were bringing it back because they did the brand split and they wanted a secondary title on both Raw and SmackDown.
And really good Royal Rumble, Battle Royal, and it was former Intercontinental Champions, except for Booker T.
Right, and Val Venus was a surprise. He had been off, and Stone Cold rehired him. It got down to Booker and Christian. Christian drop kicked the one and only ref outside the ring. He misses Christian getting eliminated, even though it was right next to him. And Booker T's music played because everybody thought Booker had won. And Christian grabbed the belt from Pat Patterson and hit Booker T with it, and then dumped, an unconscious Booker T over the ropes. And so Christian's the new Intercontinental Champion.
I love his posing with the title and everything, though, after the match.
Yeah, and then Taz officiated a bikini contest. Yes, this is back when they were doing lingerie matches and bikini contests with Sable and Tori Wilson.
I want to say, I think this might have been the last time you've seen Christian with his long hair.
It might have been, yeah. And then we had Roddy Piper against Mr. America. If Mr. America loses, he has to take off his mask and prove that he is indeed Hulk Hogan. And
Damn it, he is Hulk Hogan!
And during this match, or no, it was a different, I think it was the match.
It was during this match, too.
He lifts the mask, and you can see that it's fucking Hulk Hogan. I mean, if you didn't know it was Hulk Hogan at this point...
Can I bring it on?
You go ahead. And Sean O'Hare and Zach Gowen were at ringside for this match, and it was they were bringing Zach Gowen into storylines at this point as well. Mr. America wins, big surprise.
Right.
Kevin Nash versus Triple H. Triple H DQ'd with the sledgehammer. Do you sense a theme with the sledgehammer in 2003? And at that point, they fought towards the back, and Kevin Nash did a jackknife on Triple H through the announce table.
Dude, he destroyed that announce table.
Yeah, and pretty much the back of Triple H's head hit the edge of the announce table.
And you can literally... Dude, I feel sorry for his fucking back, though. You could just...
Yeah, the main event was the Brock Lesnar versus the Big Show for the WWE title, and what kind of match?
A stretcher match, and it hasn't... A stretcher match at that point hasn't been done since Killer Kowalski and Andre the Giant. No, not Killer Kowalski. What?
You're almost there. Killer Khan.
Thank you. Well, I was about ready to say Killer.
You had the killer part right.
I was about ready. I was like, it's Killer Kowalski.
But it was in the 80s.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. What did Brock Lesnar use as a makeshift stretcher?
A fucking forklift!
With a pallet on it that you put one of the backboards on and put Big Show on it and pulled it across the line.
Little fun fact for you people. Big Show is afraid of heights. And what did he do with the forklift?
He lifted it really high.
Yup.
Yeah.
Poor Big Show.
This I forgot about, and I couldn't find it on Peacock, so I bought the DVD. eBay's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
Fast shipping. Insurrection at a UK only pay-per-view. I think it was the week before Bad Blood. Trish versus Jazz. Jazz had Theodore Long in the corner. A really good match. Victoria got involved, and Theodore Long threw Trish into the ring post, and Jazz retained. The Intercontinental title, Booker T versus Christian, kind of, furthering what happened, the month before. They overdubbed Booker T's music. I don't know if there was in England they couldn't use the music over there because of copyrights. Christian used the ropes to retain. And then Austin was backstage with Teddy Long and made Teddy Long a part of a match later on. He turned a tag match into a six-man tag. Rob Van Dam and Kane versus La Resistance. This was the night after Stone Cold Steve Austin challenged Kane and said, where's the fire?
Yes.
And he slapped him in the face, if I remember. So.
Yes, and he delivered a Stone Cold Stunner to him, too.
Right, and Kane's music was dubbed too. They retained the tag titles. Gold Dust versus Rico. And I put...
That's okay, because he started...
That's true. It was the stuttering era, so it's perfect. I wrote, this is a pay-per-view match, and Goldust won. They did a highlight reel on pay-per-view, Jericho's highlight reel. Bischoff was the guest, and Austin interrupts. He makes the main event a street fight. And so then it's Chris Nowinski, Roddy Mack, and Teddy Long against all three Dudleys. Devon did a drop kick. How often did you see Devon doing a drop kick? Spike Dudley got the pin on Teddy Long, which was pretty funny. And then they did a 3D on Chris Nowinski through the table. This was after Nowinski had a bad concussion, and he didn't last long after this either. Test versus Steiner with Val Venus as the ref. Okay, match. Steiner won. And then Kevin Nash with Shawn Michaels versus Triple H with Ric Flair. A lot of the same stuff that they did in Hell in a Cell at the next pay-per-view. The drop toe hold into the steps. Chaos with Flair and Shawn Michaels. Sledgehammer again for Triple H to win.
I love Ric Flair in 03. I freaking love Ric in 03.
But they used him too much, wouldn't you agree with that ringside? He interfered a little bit too much, but he was a great character at that point, I will agree.
Oh my God, just the reactions from him when he gets caught, especially when he gets caught and he's arguing with the referee.
And he takes his jacket off and throws it down and all that stuff. Yeah, that's really good. The next pay-per-view was Bad Blood. They did a redneck triathlon with
oh my God, it's fantastic.
Burping contest, a sing-off, and pie eating.
My favorite has to be the pie eating.
What happened in the pie eating contest?
It wasn't regular pie here, people. Remember, this is 03. They had to eat pie.
Poontang
pie.
And Eric Bischoff had like 4 or 5 women in the back, and Austin's stipulation was Eric Bischoff got to go first, but Austin got to pick which woman Eric Bischoff was with. Who did he pick?
Mae Young.
And she gave him a low blow and a Bronco Buster, which was really funny. And then Austin stunned Mae Young and forfeited that contest.
Yes.
And then there was a burping contest, which of course Austin won. And then they were going to do a sing-off, and if you know anything about Stone Cold Steve Austin, he can't sing, he can't carry a tune in a bucket.
And neither can Eric Bischoff.
Because he lip-synced his own entrance music, Eric Bischoff did.
Yes.
So what did Stone Cold do?
Turned it into a hog pen match.
He spun the wheel again, and it was a pig pen fun match, a hog pen match.
I like how he purposely stopped it on the pig pen.
Yeah, and he ended up throwing Eric Bischoff into the pig pen. Great stuff. Goldberg wrestled Chris Jericho.
A great animosity between them back in WCW.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels against Ric Flair. Awesome. And then the Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley as the referee. I will never forget the lead up to this and Triple H laying on the entranceway on Raw and Stone Cold saying, "You've got Kevin Nash, Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell."
And
it was
and
great.
Triple H just
yeah, it was great.
Then leading up to it, they had trouble because of other Hell in a Cell matches to find a referee.
Exactly. So Austin picks Mick Foley. Great. I have to say, King was being so stupid on commentary, complaining that anything goes. It's a Hell in a Cell,
yes.
King. You've been in the damn business for 40 years at this point. I know you're the heel announcer, but don't make yourself look stupid.
Yes.
Because you made yourself look stupid in this match. He, once again, uses a sledgehammer and a pedigree, and Triple H retains the title. But a good Hell in a Cell match, I gotta say. Vengeance was a SmackDown-only pay-per-view. That Bad Blood was a Raw-only pay-per-view. I loved it with the brand split when they were doing brand-only pay-per-views.
Yes.
But they had the APA Invitational, which was a bar fight, where the last man standing, or last man drinking was the winner. Brother Love was involved. The Easter Bunny was involved. Funaki was just sitting at the bar getting drunk.
Sake!
Yeah, the APA. Like Johnny Nitro was in it. The Brooklyn Brawler. Matt Hardy. Nunzio of I think all of the FBI were in it.
And they last one standing, wasn't it?
Yeah, last one drinking, which was Bradshaw. Funaki was one of the last ones, but he was just sitting on the bar stool. He raised up his beer, and he just passed out off the bar stool. So that made Bradshaw the winner. Entertaining as hell.
Yes.
They did Stephanie McMahon against Sable, both former women's champions. Sable's top falls down, and the referee goes to cover her up. And A-Train, bum rushes Stephanie, knocks her down. Sable wins, you know. Zach Gowen versus Vince McMahon. If you don't know who Zach Gowen is, he's got one leg, and he can wrestle. And he does an amazing moonsault. He does drop kicks. He's an amazing talent, and I'd really like to meet him at some point. Yes. He's going to be on my list for Heroes Hideout for their next Wrestling Classic, for sure. At one point, Vince sets up a chair in the middle of the ring, and Zach Gowen drop kicks the edge of the top of the chair into Vince's head, and it creates a gusher, which Vince did many times in this era of WWE. Zach Gowen misses the moonsault, and Vince wins. I wasn't expecting Zach Gowen to win. Vince's ego was way too big. There's no way he's
the genetic jackhammer.
There's no way he's going to lose to a one-legged wrestler. Just not. And then the main event was Big Show versus Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. And I believe Kurt Angle won the WWE title in this match. But
Kurt did win it because it led into Brock Lesnar turning heel again.
Right. I'm not going to go through all of SummerSlam. Eric Bischoff versus Shane McMahon. And this is where Eric Bischoff's, thought...
What the hell are you doing, Coach?
Yeah, said he had sex with Linda McMahon. And said to Vince, I don't know why you're going out all over the country having hamburger when you have a hot, juicy filet mignon on at home, which was just, Shane's offense looked like shit even back then. Like you said, Coach turned heel and hit Shane with a chair, and then did a bad JR impression when they turned off the King and JR's microphone.
JR, I got this one!
Right. Austin came out to intervene, and Shane McMahon used Bischoff's hand to provoke Stone Cold and got a stunner.
Why did he do it? Because Stone Cold couldn't hit anybody at this point because he was a GM.
Yep, and unless somebody provoked him.
Yes.
So he kind of, sort of provoked Austin. Shane did the elbow drop off the top rope through the announce table onto Bischoff.
I love the look that little Nate does when he slaps him.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, ooh.
Little Nate's is the best. Shane McMahon won because Bischoff had made it false count anywhere. So, and then the main event, the Elimination Chamber, Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, Goldberg, Randy Orton, Triple H, and Kevin Nash. And what was Kevin Nash's look at this point?
The flat top.
He had a blonde flat top because he was going to play the Russian in the Punisher movie.
And I even had to correct this on Facebook, too. Because somebody posted it. The Punisher in 05. No, it was 03.
Well, yeah. Whatever.
Because Kevin Nash was stabbed on set.
Yeah,
and it's in the film.
Accidentally.
Yes, accidentally. And it's on film and everything.
Yep. Kevin Nash got eliminated after Shawn Michaels super kicked him, and then he hit a powerbomb on Jericho and a powerbomb on Orton. Orton sold that powerbomb so well in that match. And then then Shawn Michaels super kicked Triple H when he tried to come out of his chamber when it was his time.
And Nate's just having a conniption fit.
Yeah, and Triple H was injured at this point as well. So,
it was a groin injury.
Yeah. Goldberg dominated. He speared Jericho through one of the pods, kind of double clutched it a bit, and had to do it, you hit the momentum twice, but he got through it. Yeah. And then when it was just down to Goldberg and Triple H, Flair was using his feet, leaning on the railing, and he was holding the pod closed.
And just Rick's reaction outside the ring was...
Yeah, he was flipping off Goldberg and everything. It was great. So Goldberg punched and kicked his way through the pod to get to Triple H. How did the match end? Do you remember?
That damn sledgehammer!
Yeah, Ric Flair slid the hammer in. I wrote too much of a crutch at this point. And then after the Triple H retains, and then after the match, they handcuff Goldberg to the cage, and all of Evolution beat the crap out of Goldberg. So
you'll never get to see this, Goldberg. Never!
Yep. And then the next month was Unforgiven 2003, a Raw pay-per-view. Sleeper match of the year candidate, in my opinion, Shawn Michaels versus Randy Orton.
Yes.
I gotta say this. They talked about Shawn Michaels back way too much on his comeback. And it was for years and years. Okay, I've kind of got to say I agree with Jim Cornette on something. Cornette has always said that Shawn Michaels' back was only injured until WCW went out of business because Vince McMahon was paying him so he wouldn't go to WCW. And what happens? WCW goes out of business. The year later, Shawn Michaels' back is okay enough for him to go on a full-time schedule. And he had one of the best runs of his career up until 2010. For 8 more years, he was fine. His back was fine. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but kind of sounds like it could be. But I wrote Flair involved too much, lots of tropes, and it was Orton used brass knuckles to get the win, even though he didn't put him in his tights. He still had him on his fist right in clear view of the referee during the pin. But whatever. Last man standing, Kane versus Shane McMahon.
Such a great match.
Yep. Shane did the coast-to-coast drop kick with the steel steps into Kane. And then he went for the elbow drop off the top of the entranceway onto Kane. And Kane moved, and Shane couldn't, answer the 10 count, so Kane wins. And then for the Raw announce job, Coach and Al Snow versus the King and JR. No commentary during this match because they were in the ring. I wrote JR is awkward as Vince in the ring. Chris Jericho came in and drop kicked JR while the referee was distracted, and Coach and Al Snow got the win, and they were the Raw announce team. I don't think it lasted more than a couple weeks, but
I think it lasted 2 or 3 weeks,
maybe, and it wasn't good. No offense to Coach and Al Snow, but it wasn't good. And then the main event, Triple H versus Goldberg for the World Heavyweight title. Goldberg can win anyway. If Triple H is counted out or disqualified, he loses the title. But if Goldberg doesn't win, his career is over. So Triple H hit Goldberg with the hammer again. But Goldberg hit the spear and the jackhammer and new champion. So.
And out of this era, we got the greatest reaction from Coach when Kane entered, when he had his legs up on the announcement table, leaning back. And Pyro went off, and whoop, over goes Coach.
Yeah, that was really good. There was a lot of good stuff that happened in 2003. And then No Mercy, which is a SmackDown only. Zach Gowen versus Matt Hardy. He actually beat Matt Hardy with a moonsault. That was really cool. And then Father versus Daughter. Stephanie.
I Quit match.
Yeah, Stephanie was looking really good in this era.
And the reason why Vince won this match because, what was it, a couple days later, her and Triple H got married.
Yes. Stephanie McMahon came out with Linda McMahon, and Sable was in Vince's corner. Vince was choking Stephanie with a lead pipe. And Linda McMahon threw the towel in, so Vince McMahon won, and he got to do his pose and all that shit. And then I really like this match, Kurt Angle versus John Cena. John Cena used to bump like crazy in 2003. He tried to use the chain and gold medals against Kurt, but as brass knucks, but Kurt still kicked out. Cena tapped out, so much for never give up. He tapped out in 2003. He may not have done it ever again, but he tapped out in 2003, so never give up bullshit.
Yeah.
Big Show won the U.S. title from Eddie Guerrero. And then in a biker chain match, Big Evil Undertaker for the WWE title. Hard hitting.
I do want to talk about leading up into that pay-per-view with Eddie and Big Show.
Okay.
Such great shit from Eddie at this point and everything.
Yeah. Antagonizing
Big Show and everything. What was the best part of it? Big Show gets sprayed by a fucking sewer truck by Eddie.
Yeah, that was. I doubt it was actual sewage, but it was very entertaining. Yes. Yeah. I just didn't really, because it wasn't a great match, so I wasn't going into it. But the biker chain match, Undertaker hit a pile driver on the steel steps on Lesnar, which was
gnarly.
The FBI interfered when Undertaker tried to get the chain. The chain was on a pole, in one of the corners.
Throwback to Vince Russo.
And once again, Undertaker did his dive on the FBI. But at one point, Vince McMahon pushed the Undertaker off the top rope, and Lesnar used the chain to retain the title. So,
and this led into Buried alive.
Yep, Survivor Series 2003. We had Team Kurt Angle versus Team Lesnar. Team Angle was Kurt Angle, John Cena, Chris Benoit, and Hardcore Holly and Bradshaw versus Brock Lesnar, Nathan Jones, Big Show, A-Train, and Matt Morgan. Benoit and Cena survived for Team Angle.
Chris?
The women's title, Lita versus Molly Holly. Molly Holly did a drop toe hold into the turnbuckle, and Molly got the win. Ambulance match, Shane McMahon versus Kane. The beginning of the match, right as the bell rings.
Kane dumped right on his head.
Yeah, Shane bum rushed him over the top rope, and Kane landed right on his head. Shane's elbow onto the table always looks amazing. They did a spot where they ran backstage and they had like a little security booth, and Shane beat him down with a kendo stick and then backed an SUV into it really fast. But if you really pay attention, there's a cement K-rail there,
yes,
where the back of the SUV hits and doesn't even come close to hitting Kane. But whatever. At one point, Kane throws Shane into the hood of the ambulance, and Shane's head cracks the windshield. Which, my favorite part of the whole match, though, Kane's down on his knees by the back door of the ambulance, and Shane swings the door once, hits Kane. Kane gets his hands up to block most of the force, but the second one, I don't know if Kane just wasn't paying attention, but Shane swings it again, and Kane's head goes.
And if you read his lips, he goes, "Fuck!"
Yeah, and you could hear it was bad. The sound of it, the thud, was bad. Shane did a drop kick off the top of the ambulance onto a crash pad that he sets up himself. But Kane,
hardware bats.
Yeah, Kane does a tombstone on the floor and throws Shane into the ambulance, so Kane wins. Randy Orton hit an RKO on Mark Cuban, which was interesting. The Bashams against the Guerreros for the tag titles. And then Team Austin versus Team Bischoff. If Austin's team wins, he can do whatever he wants as co-GM. If Austin's team loses, then Austin's done. He's gone. His career's over. So Team Austin is Shawn Michaels, the Dudleys, RVD, and Booker T versus Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, Christian, Scott Steiner, and Randy Orton. It was, basically Stone Cold's got to trust people. His motto was DTA. Great story. Batista helped Orton win. Austin's career was over. Comes back as Sheriff Austin a couple weeks later and can do whatever the hell he wants, So, a few weeks later. It wasn't a couple weeks later.
But still, great shit.
Yeah. Buried Alive, Undertaker versus Vince McMahon. Once again, one punch by The Undertaker. Vince McMahon's bleeding all over the place. Kane helped Vince by having an explosion come off the payloader that was hanging over the grave.
And if you watched Undertaker when he fell into the grave after Vince hit him with the shovel, he freaking split his elbow wide open.
I'm surprised. I'm sure he did. And then the payloader dumps dirt on the grave, and Vince McMahon wins, which leads into the feud with Kane and Undertaker, leading into WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. So,
no, not Hollywood. Back to New York City.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Yes, that's right. WrestleMania. Yeah, you're right. WrestleMania.
And the reason why I remember this is because they had New York City in the background for the entranceway.
Yep.
And when Kane entered, this whole city was burning.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. The main event: Triple H versus Goldberg. Goldberg hit everybody with a sledgehammer except for Triple H. He just threw it away, and then spear jackhammer, and he wins. So Goldberg retains the WWE title, or World Heavyweight title. And then Armageddon. Mark Henry versus Booker T. I thought they were going to push Mark Henry really hard in this era, but they lost to Booker T. Co-GM Mick Foley, because Austin was gone at this point.
St. Nichols
comes out and says the petition to bring back Stone Cold has 1 million signatures. And Orton comes out to interrupt him. Foley says, "It looks like you're ready to wrestle." So he calls out Rob Van Dam, impromptu Intercontinental title match with Mick Foley as the ref. I thought this was a match of the year candidate as well. Really, really good match. Randy Orton gets the win and becomes Intercontinental Champion. Then Eric Bischoff's Battle of the Sexes.
Oh my fucking god.
Trish Stratus and Lita versus Christian and Y2J. The build up to this match, Jericho was hot for Trish, Christian was hot for Lita, and they had made a bet that
for $1 Canadian
that who was going to sleep with one of the girls first. So Bischoff makes Battle of the Sexes. It was entertaining. Christian gets the win. Intergender. It was this era. You know what I mean? The year before they were doing hot lesbian action. So So Shawn Michaels versus Batista. Super kick out of nowhere. Shawn Michaels gets the win. The next match was supposed to be Maven versus Matt Hardy. Batista destroys Maven before the match can even start.
Maven.
What does Matt Hardy do?
Throws himself on Maven.
Counts his own 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Yeah, just great stuff. And
V1.
Yep. And then backstage, you see Ric Flair trying to calm down Batista. And he says, "I've got something big for us. By the end of the night, we're going to have gold around our waists." So then, of course, the next match is Tag Team Turmoil. The last team standing becomes the tag team champions. It comes down to the Dudleys, and of course, the announcer says they won. But Bischoff comes out and says, "No, you haven't beaten all of the teams. The next team is Ric Flair and Batista." So they win, and now they're the new World Tag Team Champions. The other member of Evolution, Randy Orton, is the Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, the last pay-per-view, you forgot the tables match.
I didn't. I wasn't going to talk about everything, but yeah. So yeah, the Dudleys did a tables match. Yeah. And then Ivory wrestled Molly Holly for the women's title.
That's leading up where Spike got the back of his fucking head hit right off the table.
Yeah. Main event is Goldberg versus Triple H versus Kane for the World Heavyweight title. Triple H wins the World Heavyweight title, so now Evolution has all of the men's championships. So.
Yay.
Well, not the Cruiserweight, but that's on SmackDown. So yeah, that was 2003. There was a lot going on. Like I said, we didn't go through TNA or Ring of Honor, but...
we might have to do a part 2 with 03.
If we do, you're doing all the research for us. But before we go, I wanted to preview what's coming up as far as wrestling events. AEW Full Gear on the 22nd of November.
Actually, I'm trying to do the research on 2002 for us.
Okay. For $200,000, a tag team match. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens versus Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson versus Big Bill and Brian Keith versus the Outrunners. The winner wins $200,000. The AEW Women's title, Chris Statlander, the champion, versus Mercedes Moné. Yawn. The tag titles, Bandito, and Brody King versus FTR. I think that'll be a really good match. A trios match for $1 million.
$1 million!
Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. A casino gauntlet for the new national championship. For the TNT title, Kyle Fletcher, the champion, versus Mark Briscoe. If Briscoe loses, he must join the Don Callis family. Darby Allin versus Pac. And a steel cage match for the world title, Adam Page versus Samoa Joe, which I think is kind of dumb because they just did Blood and Guts.
Right.
And they announced the steel cage match during the Blood and Guts match, or, event, so whatever.
Is that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
Yes. Yes, he was there at Blood and Guts, yes. And then Survivor Series is happening a week later. It's Survivor Series War Games. But for the women's world title, Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella.
Can I say this? I kind of miss the traditional Survivor Series matches.
I do too. And then, War Games was like an NXT thing, which I enjoyed more.
Yes.
For the Intercontinental title, John Cena versus Dom Mysterio. The Women's War Games, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, and 2 women to be announced. They're alluding to that it's going to be, one of them's going to be AJ Lee, and then the other one's going to be Charlotte Flair. Against Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, and one to be announced, seeing as how Becky Lynch just lost the women's Intercontinental title, the
I think it's going to be Becky.
Yeah, and and AJ Lee is the one that helped cause it. Yeah, it seems it would be Becky. So, I mean, that'll be a good match.
I have one thing to say. I don't like the fact that they have had Dom lose the fucking Intercontinental title to John Cena.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it back, but yeah, whatever. I mean,
come on, you could have gave him a full year with it.
I'm kind of watching out of habit at this point, anyways,
right?
But and then the men's War Games: CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns versus the Vision, which is Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul, with Drew McIntyre and just announced on Monday, Brock Lesnar. So that'll be interesting. Very interesting. I would imagine Brock Lesnar is going to be out last, but who knows? If he's first, it's just going to be a shitload of German suplexes. And
Suplex City, bitch!
Yeah, so we'll cover those as well. Other than that, you got anything?
Nope.
All right, so thank you.
The new DLC.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm loving that Psycho Sid is back in the game.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
And you're liking that, you say his name because I'm going to say it like freaking Jesse the Body Ventura.
Tito Santana?
Yes.
Yeah, Tito Santana is also in the DLC. That makes me really happy. So.
And so isn't... I'm trying to fucking remember some of the... JYD.
Okay.
And Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yep, that's cool. Even though Jesse's really not doing anything on WWE right now.
Which kind of I'm guaranteed that they're not going to have him be in next year's game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, they still have a deal with him. He's just not on TV, so they're still making merchandise and action figures. But yeah. So that's so I want to thank Wrestling with Character for putting on a good show and. We tried to do a table, but they'd run out of space. So, but Kurt, the guy that runs it, Mr. Kurt Adonis, was very nice and responded to all my messages and tried to make it happen, and it just couldn't happen. So we went to the show and we had a good time. So thank you very much for that. And we will go to one of your shows another one of your shows at some point.
And if you can get a table, fantastic.
Yeah. If not, we'll go as fans. So. We're going to have more to talk about. We're going to a wrestling event in December, but that's way far off. At Cheappopsshow on all social media, cheappopsshow.com, cheappops.redbubble.com for
merchandising.
We have T-shirts, we have stickers, we have awesome logos. I think we have awesome logos.
Yes.
Just saying. cheappopsshow.com, at Cheappopsshow, Facebook. Facebook is where I post most of the stuff because Twitter, X is kind of a fucking cesspool. So
it is a fucking cesspool.
But yeah, thanks for subscribe, comment. I love comments. I love seeing what people think of the show. If you've never watched the show before, thank you for checking us out. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for staying this long and enjoying the show.
Pop guys out.